In this video, I'll be testing out 4 different paper filters. These are the filters that I'll be using. First one is your basic Hario filter, a Baca filter, T90, T92. At this point, I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Gary, who sent me these 3 different filters to test out. This video is dedicated to you. Okay, so the way that I decided to test out these filters was to brew with each and every filter twice. One with a dark roast and one with a light roast. I brewed with the exact same technique for all of the attempts, and I timed how long it would take for the full brew to finish. So here are the results, and as you can see, there's a huge discrepancy between some of the brew times. So with a shorter brew time, the extraction is way less compared to a longer brew time. And this is why filters really matter, and you need to understand what filter you're using to utilize it to its fullest potential. Now, as I was drinking and sipping these 8 coffees that I was testing, I couldn't really find any specific paper tastes that were seeping into the cup of coffee. So the paper filters themselves didn't really add any specific flavors to the cup of coffee. They really just changed the extraction level of the coffee, which then led to the change of taste. So how would you use these different filters to your advantage when you brew coffee at home with the pour over? So for example, with the osmotic flow brewing technique and single pour brewing techniques, I highly recommend a fast filter just because it allows you to either have a nice dome on your osmotic flow or keep the water level nice and low when you're doing a single pour for your single pour techniques. If you end up using a filter that has a long brew time, the dome will overflow, or you'll reach so high into the Hario V60 when you're doing a single pour that you kind of need to stop your single pour, which then leads to a non-single pour brew. Now, how can you use the filters that are brewing for a longer time to your advantage? Well, there are some beans that actually brew too quickly, and this is when you should be using a filter that has a slower drawdown rate to your advantage. If you are a pour over fanatic, I kind of would recommend having multiple filters at home because it allows you to be versatile with the techniques that you use and the beans that you brew with. Here's a fun story that happened in the past. These Hario filters over here once had a really quick drawdown time. It was a period when they didn't have this tab on them. And I remember Reddit posts coming up saying like, oh my god, what's wrong with my coffee? Like, it's taking so much longer. So suddenly everyone's brewing recipes were shifted to the over extracted realm because the brew time of the filter just made it way longer. I remember during that period also that people were hoarding the old coffee filter to kind of like cling on to the old recipe that they had. If you've come this far, please comment down below what type of pour over filter you're using currently. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.